Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Alabama versus Clemson college basketball matchup on Tuesday, November 28, 2023. Of course, we do tons of free picks every day, and when you're looking for the games, though, that we like the best, those are the ones we put underneath the Premium Picks tab over at Pickdawgz.com. Just use that discount code PICK to get 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make big bets. I know a lot of you do, and the only way to get that, though, is to text the number you see on the screen. So if you make big bets, text that number. But let's get to this one. Alabama taking on Clemson, and Alabama certainly, after last year's team, the expectations is that, well, there's going to be a little bit of a drop-off, but still a ton of talent on this team. And I think that's exactly what we've seen from the Crimson Tide so far. I think, last time out, the win against Oregon I thought was pretty impressive, winning by 10 in that game. But to me, that game against Ohio State, they just were never really in it. They kind of just laid an egg in a game that I thought was a way winnable game for them. And, it was just, they trailed the whole way. They never got it going. It was one of those games, and we see this all the time in college basketball. Sometimes we even see it in the NBA where guys are just shooting up shots and nothing's going in. They're hitting the back of the rim. They're hitting, just off a little bit, and that's the way that Alabama had. You look at some games like that and you say, maybe this Tide team isn't as talented as they were in the past, but at the same time, maybe it just wasn't their night. And I think maybe a little bit of both in that case. And, like we saw against Oregon, winning by 8 in a game that they were laying 8.5. So they haven't covered their last 2 games. When we look at the Clemson Tigers, certainly not nearly as battle-tested as the Tide, but they are unbeaten coming into this game, but they've only covered the spread twice, not covering 3 times. Their most impressive win was that against Boise, beating them 85-68 in a game they were laying 5.5. Of course, they also have that win over Davidson, 68-65, laying 8 points, but only winning by 3 in that one. And of course, the win against UAB, which was a win. They were favored by 7.5. I gotta say, I think that line was a little heavy for that game and a little on the aggressive side. When we look at the tail of the tape, it's gonna be, Clemson, certainly their offense showing, playing against the lesser teams. 20th best in the nation at shooting the 3, 39.7%, and hitting 47.5% from the floor. The Tide defense really has not been that great, and I think that is going to be a little bit of a problem for them in this game. When we look at the Tide offensively, while they rattled those shots around against Ohio State, they're still 3rd best in the nation at shooting the 3 at 43% and 54.1% from the floor. So, I guess what you say is it just wasn't their night against Ohio State. I think it is their night here against Clemson. I'm going to take Alabama to win big, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at Sports Chat Plays. They're 100% free and tell you how often historically all the bets on the board today have actually hit. Then they pair them with today's odds, and from there, you can put yourself on the most favorable bets today.